Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I'm trying to get this vid up and I had to uninstall, reinstall all kind of apps like computers, right? You gotta love them. I wanted to get this out. Of course, it's gonna be a lot shorter than what I wanted it to be because I have to be somewhere soon. But colonoscopy, this whole rise of pushing us to put things up our butt, right? This whole generation loves talking about anal stuff. It's like an anal fixation. Really, really creepy. Not something I would advise, especially if you're in your late 30s, early 40s. They're gonna push this on you so hard. I had to fire all of those so-called doctors and go on the journey of holistic health, and I've been better for it because if I had still been in the system, I would have been in really poor shape. And if all the lies they said were true, guys, I would have been dead. I would have been all mangled. I mean, I feel like I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much. By the grace of the Most High. Okay, He's your ultimate healer. And people hate the dietary laws. They hate the Old Testament. But if we just follow certain natural laws, aka God's laws, we would be in good health and we would be in less situations because the colon is a very sacred part of your body. If you didn't know, I'm going to read a little bit from a reference. And of course, everything's buffering. I'm surprised this is even working now, so I'm trying to get this going. But we're under the so-called barbaric system. It's known as the Greek system, which you can tell by the caduceus and all of the symbols, right? And I will be reading a little bit from the Apocrypha, and you have to have spiritual discernment with everything you do because this is a spiritual battle, even if they're trying to get into your physical temple, okay? Because they know certain portals of your body, and when you violate certain things, okay? And a lot of the practices of the Greeks were in violation of the Hebrew God. The Most High don't like the practices of the Greeks, okay? It is what it is. No disrespect to everyone. It's just the way of life. And, the Romans inherited, and America has a lot of these institutions. So we're raised with it thinking it's so normal when they were indigenous ways of life and more healing things that we should have done. And diet is huge. Diet is very important when it comes to your colon. I mean, look at the system. They were bleeding people out thinking that you could just take out all, and blood is life. If you lose enough blood, like your spirit is in the blood, you'll die, right? But they thought once upon a time that's what you're supposed to do. So it's good to look back at some of these barbarism tactics, the crazy pictures you'll see from back then, how it can get a little funky. It can get really, really invasive, and it could be laughable to generations later. Generations ahead of us are going to laugh. I mean, what's next? People are going to get surgery to remove their zits. I mean, it's pretty much what you're doing when you go get a colonoscopy. They have you so scared of these so-called polyps. And I'll have you watch a little this vid of the actual procedure. Hopefully things will work correctly. That it just seemed like a horror show. And people were like, I'm so glad I got it. I mean, when you listen to what they have to go through, they got to be starved the day before. And this one's like 2 polyps were found and 1 was sent away for the test. At the end, yeah, those can be retracted by correcting your diet and making sure you poop every day. Most people don't. They will, these things will turn into so-called these pustules, and the same things happen with your skin. If you don't poop enough, it'll come out of your skin, and literally that's waste burning through your the epidermis. So what's next? You need to be, do you go to the doctors to get those removed, right? So you kind of have to use a little common sense. If you believe in this, that's on you. I think this is another sign of the barbaric system we're in.
What happens during and after a colonoscopy? A colonoscopy is a medical procedure that lets your doctor look inside your colon and rectum for problems such as ulcers, inflammation, bleeding, polyps, and tumors. A colonoscope is the tool used to perform a colonoscopy. It is a thin, flexible tube with a light and video camera on the end. It is inserted through the anus into the rectum and is carefully guided up through the colon, all the way to the cecum. The colonoscope can usually be used to enter the very end of the small bowel, known as the terminal ileum. The front tip of the colonoscope contains a video camera, which sends real-time images to a computer screen so that your doctor can examine the colon. The front tip also has a light, a channel for water irrigation, a channel for air and water, as well as an instrument channel.
Did you guys see that instrument that comes out that looks hideous?
The irrigation channel is used to flush water or air into the colon, to remove debris or stool, and see more clearly what the inside of the colon looks like, and to check for polyps. Special tools such as tiny forceps or wired loops or snares can be passed through the colonoscope to remove polyps and take samples, called biopsy, of suspicious.
People have already said that doing so can actually spread if the so-called cancer throughout your body. So what's to stop the root here? Okay, just let's use our common sense to spread through the bloodstream, and that's what they say. That's why all cancer, quote unquote, is actually inoperable. You shouldn't operate people way more accredited than me have already put these claims forward and have shown that it spreads into your bloodstream, and that if you take care of things holistically, you can take herbs, stop eating the stuff that got you there in the first place, and they'd actually shrink and they would retract on their own, and you can actually poop a lot of this stuff out. But they won't tell you that, because I'm sure the cost of a routine this procedure, colonoscopy, is many thousands of dollars. But this looks insane. People take that for granted. First of all, is this thing even really clean? And they put it throughout your whole colon. That's crazy. That's scary. And many people have been disabled because this thing can puncture holes in your colon.
Suspicious tissue in order to look for signs of cancer. A colonoscopy usually takes 30 to 60 minutes and is performed in a hospital or clinic by a trained doctor, known as a gastroenterologist.
Oh, it's going to act up. Hold on, guys.
You will be offered a sedative to help you relax during your colonoscopy, and you will be placed on your side for the procedure. Your doctor will carefully insert the colonoscope into your rectum
It's the computer today. Bear
and
with me.
advance it to the end of your colon, to your cecum. The colonoscope bends, so your doctor can move it around the curves of your colon. Your doctor might gently press.
That was me pausing it. So how about if there was an emergency, or the grid went down, or something happened with this doctor and he needed to leave the room, and you have this freaking metal snake tube stuck all the way in there? What a very helpless situation. You couldn't pay me to get this done. Well, I guess I'll take my chances. You can hoop and holler and say what you want, but this is barbaric. And for many generations, no one needed this done, okay? This goes throughout, oh my gosh. And of course, it's just to probably scare you some more and say they found something. So what, they can go in and cut, because you notice that the visits never end because they don't want the business to end.
Press on your abdomen during the procedure, or ask you to change positions occasionally to help move the scope through the colon. During the entire procedure, a magnified high-definition video from the colonoscope plays on a monitor in real time, so your doctor can thoroughly examine the lining of your colon. Video may be recorded, and photos are taken as well. A small amount of air may be blown into your colon to help expand the passageway so that your doctor can see better. This can make you feel pressure or mild cramping, but can be eased by taking slow, deep breaths. The colonoscope is then slowly pulled out while your doctor carefully examines the inside of your bowel. If your doctor finds polyps or suspicious areas during the colonoscopy, the polyps will be removed and small tissue samples will be taken to be checked for signs of cancer. Polyps are usually not cancerous, but they can change into cancer, and that is why they need to be removed. Polyps are removed with biopsy tools or wire loops that get passed through the scope into the colon. The most common removal technique is called snare polypectomy, where the polyp is surrounded by a wire loop, and then an electric current in the wire burns off the polyp. The polyp is then pulled through the instrument.
And then if there was any cancer, it'd be leaking all over here. You hear they talk, it could be cancer, it might not be cancer. Yeah, okay, plenty of complications happen, and people are low in vitamin D. You try to give them natural solutions. You try to tell people, guys, you try to tell people that the power is in their hands to take care of their health, and they're like, oh no, that's not true. I'm just doing a test to see if my camera works because it wasn't working earlier. It's being uber fresh. Of course, it's probably going to do it again. But I'm going to read a little bit from, I'll just let's see. Oh, now you feel like working because you're fresh. I'm going to read a little bit from this tidbit. This video goes back to this clinic. I don't agree with all their methods of, they talk about doing holistic, non-invasive treatment. It's called at the term of this place is the Alternative Cancer Treatment at the Issels Treatment Center. But they also talking about their surgeries, not the way I could read a little bit from them, but they talk about vaccines too. Hey, everybody has their approach. I'm not into needles. But when it comes to telling people about the nature of the big C, and you say, hey, it's a lifestyle choice. It's really stuff that we did to ourselves. Not just that, but the corporations and all these evil groups who taint the water supply, put the fluoride in our tap water. We didn't ask for that. But most of this stuff can be dealt with preventional nutritional medicine, also known as orthomolecular medicine. And in the interest of not keeping this long, because I was going to put a vid up from the late, great Tim Morrow, who I already put his vid up in many sources, that the colon is the source of all disease. I can do a follow-up video sometime this week on that. I just wanted to put this topic, at least give it some awareness that this is dangerous. I mean, I literally had a child, a so-called doctor, a gynecologist, yeah, whatever, creepy job to have for a man, but try to scam me with that precancerous stuff. Like, he didn't look much older than my son, and my son's gonna be 23, okay? And he's trying to tell me how I'm supposed to feel about my body. And this was something that was never talked about with my elders or my grandparents or whatever. These are all modern conditions, right? And a lot of times they buy all this fancy equipment, and of course they got to use it, so they got to drum up a reason to use it. But this is a very vile practice, guys. So it's already shown that vitamin D has been linked to helping with colon cancer or prevention too, okay? It says both Canadians and Americans are shocked to think their doctors care about money, are in the illness business. In some ways, people think of their doctors like they do their local public schools. They know medicine is a business and know doctors do things for money, but they don't think their own doctors do. The fact is that doctors, hospitals, regional cancer centers, and the cancer drug manufacturers are all in business to make money. And all of these businesses make money off the sick, not off the well. Just a fact, but as Aldous Huxley once observed, facts do not cease to exist because they are ignored. The fact is that doctors, hospitals, regional cancer vitamin D. I think I already read that part. Sorry. I need my light blocking glasses. The fact is, yep, they are all there to make money. Here comes the ads. Don't start with me. Vitamin D will save the Canadian government enormous amounts of money, but will cause widespread economic disruption in the USA. Do the physicians leading the American Cancer Society have strong economic ties to the cancer industry in the form of patient stock options and consulting fees? If so, what do you expect them to do? What would you do? It's simple. You would believe what you have to believe, what you need to believe. That is, anything with the word vitamin in it is simply the latest Laetrile, which was I guess that was a vitamin C or whatever that sparked a lot of controversy for actually healing people. Look to Canada, not the USA, to lead the way. Dr. Linchenfeld implied the Canadian Cancer Society has acted precipitously in recommending that all Canadians take 1,000 international units of vitamin D daily. He implied that Americans should placidly wait until more randomized controlled trials such as LAPI-JM accumulate before they address their vitamin D deficiency. That is, nothing should be done until more randomized controlled trials prove vitamin D prevents cancer. One randomized controlled trial is not enough. Epidemiological studies are not enough. Animal studies are not enough. Multiple anti-cancer mechanisms of action are not enough. If that is his position, I challenge him to point to one human randomized controlled trial that provides smoking is dangerous. If he cannot, then he must admit that the American Cancer Society's position on smoking is entirely derived from epidemiological studies, animal studies, and a demonstrable mechanism of action, not on human randomized control studies. Vitamin D not only has hundreds of epidemiological studies, thousands of animal studies, and at least 4 anti-cancer mechanisms of action. Vitamin D deficiency has something smoking does not have. It has a high-quality randomized controlled trial. If future randomized controlled trials fail to show vitamin D prevents cancer, and Dr. Linchenfeld better hope they do. And then it goes here, guys, that so connected is the colon. I wonder how people zoom this. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit more, huh? Is that how they do? There we go. Beautiful. It says, so connected is the colon with spirituality that those who have fallen very far from the life of the spirit through disbelief or through indulgence in the various excesses that the word makes available find themselves very prone to developing cancer of the colon. Indeed, if a person must have part or all of his colon surgically removed, he will find it very hard to open himself in the spiritual sense. I believe it. The rampant increase in cancer of the colon is directly the result of heavy meat eating, particularly red meat. This connection is known to conventional medical science and is a stark comment on the refusal of humanity to give up its self-indulgences that even this proven correlation has not significantly lowered the eating of animal cadavers. We do not hesitate to recommend the practice of colonic irrigation through the taking of water-based enemas. I think just drinking water. I don't agree with anything in your colon. But he did say, I had one patient with medically documented very aggressive late stage colon cancer. She was in her late 70s, guys, and she did absolutely nothing. Actually, she told me that she had a lot of peppermint grown in her backyard, and she believed this would help her, so every day she picked some of it and made fresh peppermint tea and drank many cups of it a day. Within 3 months, her cancer was completely healed, gone. So she almost fits in this category of do nothing and live longer. And there's a link there if you like to click, because a lot of people are dealing with pancreatic cancer. And, Richard Schultz, who has been in this field for many, many years, like I said, people way more, I'm just carrying on the work that very righteous people have done, okay? And you have to treat your body with a level of respect. And colonoscopy, I mean, man, now they're trying to make it so jazzy with the cameras. No, it's still very barbaric procedure, okay? Um, they even tell you too that there are risks. You can perforate the colon, which many people have done. That's happened to them. And it says here the most complication is gastrointestinal. I mean, that will kill you. Perforation, which is life-threatening and in most cases requires immediate major surgery for repair. Fewer than 20% of cases may be successfully managed with a conservative, non-surgical approach. So the bleeding during the cauterization, this is very, very, very invasive. If you think that this is needed to have good health, then you're living off of fear and emotion, okay? They totally got in your head. They have a vested interest to make money, okay? I have not gotten this procedure and I will not get this procedure, okay? And there are women my age who are advocating for it and I don't agree with it, okay? I do my herbs daily and let me tell you, I'm fine. I live a moral lifestyle. I don't put things in my butthole, okay? For any reason. That's supposed to be a one-way exit out. Hey, you want to justify natural law, it's between you and God. I'm just here to tell you these things can happen and it will happen the more times you go, because, they want you to go periodically. It's not just the one time, I'm sure. Okay, and I didn't even have time to look up the price tag of this bad boy, but we could do that right now because, cost of a colon without insurance, okay? Say you don't have insurance. People take for granted, oh, I have insurance. Yeah, it doesn't mean you should be a guinea pig and be, putting yourself through human experimentation. So they say it typically costs $27.50 depending on whatever. Still, even if it's just that, it says right here. See if I can bring it up for you guys so you can see. It says colonoscopies. If you had to pay out of pocket, you would think a little bit more if this was something you really needed, okay? So don't be blinded because, oh, insurance, yeah, it don't matter. Okay, you can pay in other ways too. And the bowel preparation, we can go into the laxatives. I'll do another vid on that because just the preparation that they have these people take, right here, the ingredient, it goes back to aluminum. It's so horrible. These are like really potent. This propylene glycol is also an ingredient in antifreeze. Now they call this Duclolax, Muxol or whatever, Fleet, Correctol, Carter's little pills. I mean, that's weird. Little liver pills. Strange. When if you just eat live food and you lower your stress and you make sure you poop every day, you're going to go. But they want you to clean it all the way out and starve yourself, right? So, and there's so many herbs I could do this, but they're not going to give you that. And so its derivative is this this triphenylmethane. That's a good time, right? Anything with meth in it has the same derivative, so you could really go into it. And during the procedures, they're giving people fentanyl too, and everyone thinks, oh, the street fentanyl is so bad. So these are all the derivatives, guys. Oh, this is really great for you. It has, if you really go into this stuff, these are the derivatives: chloroform, aluminum chloride, chloride catalyst. Oh, this is great for you. This is really, really great for you. People don't even look up the names of these medications that they'll have you take. And it can be in different names, but it'll tell you what the original constitution was, okay? This is used as a stimulant laxative drug. This bisacodyl, okay? And what did I do? Let's zoom. I can bring it up even closer. But you just got to look how it's a derivative of this. So you start doing your own research and you just see how terrible it is for you. I mean, it doesn't take much to know. Shouldn't you use your own God-given discernment as a self-governing people, as we're supposed to be in America? You can't just... This is how people's rights are being totally thrown in the trash, because people delegate their mental ability, their thinking, their reason to strangers and charlatans, okay? That's why. And these are preparations they'll have you drink, all really bad, dyed with red, purple. Oh, of course Coca-Cola is allowed. Why not? Why not? Sodium, phosphate, all this stuff. Magnesium is okay in its original form, but they're giving you all these synthetic forms that are horrible for you, and of course you're going to have your side effects. Okay? And they already talked about the anesthesia can give you a lot of problems too, and you can have a sudden heart attack, They put you to sleep. I mean, this is a really invasive, dangerous procedure. Okay? And look, the dehydration they put you through can even prove deadly. Oh, what they have you go through can give you kidney damage and renal dysfunction under the form of phosphate, nephropathy. Very, very interesting. And look, on rare occasions, have you ever heard of this shit? I love it. Intracolonic explosion, or colonic gas, is an explosion inside the colon, because they fill it with air and do all this crazy stuff. So this can happen to you. Your colon can explode. A meticulous bowel preparation is the key to prevent these complications, right? And then if you did get it done, guys, please beware and please monitor any type of potential signs of complication, which will include, but is not limited to, abdominal pain, fever and chills, and rectal bleeding. Imagine your nausea, your vomit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I thought this was everything. Intracolonic explosion. You don't think your butthole can get blown out. I mean, but it obviously can. So there's many, many risks to this. And I had this too. It's being fresh. It's not letting me go through it. It's saying complications. Let me see. Colonoscopy. I find another article now, because this one's not going to let you guys open it. I don't want that for some reason. But it says, see how it says on Med Page today? They're saying that these procedures... See how it's increasing in a high rate? Oh, and then they get you out of there. I hate that. But you saw that, right? Oh, they're so fresh. But let's just put complications due to colonoscopy. See if we can find one we can open, because that was a really good one. It's showing that the complications are on a rise. So I'm like, all right, you guys need to know. Potential risk. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I know you guys like your official website, so I mean, even the professionals are saying, the honest ones anyway. So don't just think that nothing can happen to you. Let's see if this opens. Of course, everything's slowed today. I'm so sorry, guys. I hope this was really helpful. But this is very interesting too. Complications of colonoscopy, cardiovascular and pulmonary complications related to sedation are reviewed. So this, goes into it. Hemorrhaging can happen, perforation. So they also go infection, gas explosion. Wow, guys, this is a great. So I'll give this to you. My goodness, gas explosion, which they say they're rare, but I'm sure it happens more than they say, right? And this gas explosion can occur when combustible levels of hydrogen or methane gas are present in the colonic lumen oxygen is present, and electrosurgical energy is used. Suspected risk factors are use of non-absorbable or incompletely absorbable carbohydrate preparations, such as mannitol, that's an interesting one, so these certain laxatives, lactulose sorbitol, and incomplete colonic cleansing, either because of sigmoid oscopy preparation was used enemas or because the result of a colonic I can't even say these words anymore today. Colonoscopic purge, there you go, preparation was inadequate. Some authors have advocated use of carbon dioxide during a colonoscopy as a preventative measure. So just so you know, death, mortality, they say it's rare, guys, but if it happens to you, who cares? Do you want to be the one person that it happens to? Or to, like, seriously, they say it's rare because that is like a buzzword they say, if you haven't noticed. That's just telling you that this stuff, it's to gain a bit of trust. They want you to think that, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. They're allowed to use it. The FDA and all of them, they give them a certain leeway on the words that they can use, guys. Okay. So we have to be mindful of that. And I'm going to put those links. I could have made this longer. I like to make my vids at different paces because we're all busy. I had to fit this in. I had technical difficulties. I'm doing my documents. Yeah, I'm stumbling on my words. Sue me, okay? I'm human. Sorry. It does happen, okay? Because you're trying to think as you're reading. You're trying to make sure you're getting to the right parts of it and stuff. But I just wanted to show that it is a sacred part. It's known as a portal. And I just wanted to read this part here because it says it right here that the colon is so connected to spirituality. That's why in a lot of these satanic covens, they practice sodomy and they do really wicked practices in that area. In this so-called Sodom and Gomorrah society, it's all about getting up in there. Why not cleanse it out? I will show a vid with Mr. Tim Morrow if I have to again. He has his own channel. He's since passed away, but his vids are very, very valuable. And he has one titled Colon, the Root Cause of All Disease. Most people are not going to the bathroom every day. I mean, people are so in awe of me. Like, I do all this working out. I mean, I have a flat tummy. I've had 2 children, okay? 2 children. There's no excuse. You don't need a fad diet. You don't need to be in the gym 2 hours a day. That's bullshit. I just tell people, I ask them, do you go to the bathroom every day? I have a friend who she has like a poofy belly. And she goes, no. And I'm like, it's all poop in there. You need to make sure you spend an hour in the morning, or if you're getting up early for work, take that extra time. If I got to be somewhere early, I'll get up an extra 2 hours. Make sure I have my coffee. Make sure it's quiet. I don't care if it's embarrassing to talk about. Guess what? I got a flat tummy. I don't do sit-ups every day like that. I used to be very, very athletic, but I don't let the food sit there and putrefy and get all wasted and stuff. That's the same thing with men with beer bellies. Beer don't do that. I drink beer all the time. If I in the summer with a nice steak, I like a good Portuguese steak with some beer. Tastes amazing, especially shish kebab. Have you tried it together? So good, especially with the rice and the spicy sauce. I'm salivating thinking about it. But I don't have this gut. They say it's a prolacted. Your colon fell down, basically. That's what happened. And that's it. I go to the bathroom several times a day, okay? I don't care if you think that's nasty. Guess what? I've been very, very, very healthy. And, I'll put this vid too if you want to go on YouTube and see, in case you want to check him out and you're interested in watching that video. Really good video. Really great man. And he's a very godly man. And he taught people how to take care of themselves holistically. Most people don't even know their body, guys. They're so confused. I feel for them because they think they have to hack off stuff. I mean, Do you, when you get a pimple, doesn't it go down? Don't you, do certain things to it, and then it just, your body is self-generating. They don't want to teach people that, you know. They want you to think that you have to cut everything off. Well, guess what? If you do certain things like that, you will spread the cancer everywhere, because your body knew what it was doing, making those pustules and tumors and everything else, because it's encapsulating the so-called toxicity into a safe area where it doesn't bother your blood. So when you interrupt that, right? When you interrupt that, you can have all of those toxins seep into your whole body. Now, if you really need to understand the colon and how you have to keep it clean, hey, I'll put this video for you, okay? Watch it in its entirety. I love referencing him because he says it like it is. And he was in his 80s when he was making this video. He don't ascribe to all that stuff, and he looked amazing. A lot of the people that are pushing this stuff, they're getting sicker and sicker by the day. I know a woman who had IBS. I had two issues. A lot of this stuff is the damage from a lot of the medical procedures we got growing up. It can cause gastrointestinal problems. And let me tell you, I changed my diet. I made sure my stress level was on, because if you're super, super, super stressed, your body can't relax enough to go to the bathroom and poop. It just won't. So a lot of the times people feel like they got to be social butterflies. Hey, it's okay to be an introvert. You need that time. I've had to deal with that. In my own life and with my own partner, we have to give each other space. And I'm not one of those people that can be in a relationship and I gotta watch you go to the bathroom and everything else. People are doing that. That's weird. Give each other space. Detox is huge. It's one of the most important things. It actually supersedes your diet. Okay, it supersedes your diet, because if you're constipated, which a lot of these medications do, and just the state of the world gets you so ramped up, right? You will not be able to go. Like, your body will just lock down. Okay, the stress is huge, and it's one of the most important things, because if you don't go to the bathroom and you're constipated, you don't have an appetite. I know I couldn't eat. I know I would be all jammed up. It's like you feel like you're turning into Venom, right? So I'm going to put this link to this amazing Tim Morrow. God bless his soul. Hope he rests in peace. Look at this man. Look how strong and vital he was. And he addresses the colon, how it is the root of all disease, but not the way they're telling you, okay? You have to keep it clean. It's a one-way street. Okay, to each their own, between you and your creator. I'm just here as the messenger, so please don't take this as an attack. I say everything with love, like I would do to a friend. A lot of people, the society has become so fake, right? You try to say things out of love and they take it the wrong way. They take it as hate. No, that this is what real love looks like, okay? Because I'm not here gaining any money telling you the truth. They're gaining money telling you lies. I have nothing to gain. I'm telling this free of charge. I have no conflict of interest. I just want people not to be taken by the medical system. I had many family members who've been taken, very sad. And they didn't get the exposure that they deserved. And I had a niece who passed away who didn't go to the bathroom for almost a year. The toxicity grew so much inside of her, and that was a huge red flag. And she ended up dying of lung cancer. So it goes to show, did she really die of that, or the procedures? That's a whole other topic, because they give you morphine and everything else to stop your breathing. Okay, and it's already been shown that if you got no procedure at all, it even showed here of this older woman that she had nothing done. She had an aggressive cancer. She did nothing because she was like, I'm in my 70s, what's the point? And she still lived, right? They've even said that if you refused the treatment and you just went natural, you'd still add 12 years to your life. And my niece got put through the ringer with these treatments, and in 3 months she was dead. But it started with the colon. It started with her not detoxing every day, and that's very important. And if you want a flat stomach, go to the bathroom every day, poop it all out. And that's why you get a lot of weirdos out there too, because all of these toxins travel to their brain and it clouds their judgment, because they got all that, they got poop brain, they got shit for brains, literally. That's why they call it that. So I hope this was educational. Didn't want to make this too gross, but just watching this video, guys, shows it all. How clean is that? You could just see debris going in that little hole and stuff. Like, all of this is nasty. Like, how many buttholes did that get put into also? And if anything, there's more damage than there is so-called benefits. They'll make you think there's a benefit, because it's always about the hypothetical, the what if, the pre-cancer, they have you living in fear. We are to live in faith, okay? I'm doing great. My colon's nice and clean. I just go to the bathroom a few times a day, just like Tim Morrow says. As many times as you eat is how many times you gotta go. Straight up. And anything outside of doing it holistically is barbarism. And there's nothing different. Okay, we are in the dark ages of medicine. Many books on it. And I will do more different, various clips, but just in the interest of keeping this condensed, and I don't want to gross you guys out too much, but just sharing my personal experiences. I do my herbs every day. As long as I go to the bathroom every day, I feel amazing. If you've ever been constipated, you know how horrible it feels, and when you do finally go, it's like the most relieving feeling in the world, and you can't tell me different. And I don't believe in coffee enemas. Just drink the coffee. Believe me, you go sit in a corner somewhere for long enough, it's going to come out. And you're going to feel nice and refreshed. But I don't advocate these procedures. I'm in my early 40s. If I was still going there, they'd be like, you need this, you need that. I'm not going to let a 20-year-old fraternity fruitcake tell me, what didn't look a day older than my son, trying to get me to fear something. Yeah, this young generation really thinks they know everything. So have a little wisdom. Our elders weren't pushing this type of stuff. This is all new age, this is from the minds of the pits of hell, and I wouldn't want to be in that situation, having all this stuff up my butt if there was an emergency to happen. Imagine being on the damn bed, guys. Imagine being laying there and you have all of this nonsense in your body. Imagine, like, oh my gosh, that is like such a very vulnerable position. And this is not hygienic, and this is not the way to health. But hey, again, this is not medical advice, just common sense advice. So I'll put those links below, and please do your own research. Thank you so much, and have a great day.